Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jubilant Rich here with a controversial video. Also, I'd like to say that if at any point I seem like I'm dying, it's because I actually have a bit of a severe middle back pain, which, yeah, it's not good. The actual point of this video is to talk about the diversity in the hobby, or in some cases the lack thereof. Basically, the reason this first came to my attention was, well, I mean, it didn't first come to my attention at this point. It's been noticeable for a very long time that, well, the hobby in itself, it attracts a lot of, for lack of a better term, white dudes, right? I have absolutely no issue with that, because at the end of the day, you know, they're the ones who made the hobby back in the, late 70s, early 80s or something. And of course, that was probably the player base that it sort of like catered to. Whenever I got into the hobby back in the early to mid 90s, I was living in Northern Ireland, and so of course that wasn't exactly a very diverse area that I was living in, so I didn't really know that many people of colour, or even people of colour that were actually into the hobby, and certainly no ladies. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because back on the 18th of October, there was a post on Twitter, I think you can see where I'm going with this one, by SN Battle Reports, where they were basically talking about their, what is it? Just bear with me, I'm going to be doing a lot of clicking on the laptop here. The No Retreat Legends event, which is coming up on the SN Battle Reports channel on the 5th, 6th and 7th of November 2021. And on the poster for this event, you have a lot of very prominent YouTubers who do 40k battle reports. Your usual suspects: Tabletop Titans, Tabletop Tactics, Hellstorm Mikey, the Glacial Geek is there, which is really nice because I enjoy his content. You know, he's a fun guy, you know, really jolly, and so on and so forth. So, after, of course, this was posted, I noticed that, well, actually, the only reason I even noticed that this was posted was because I saw, due to a tweet that was liked, and this post was made by Annie Green Gable, and it basically said, "Only boys can be legends." Now, I thought, okay, right, that's interesting way of putting that. Now, considering the fact that Tabletop Tactics have recently gained a female presenter, Katie, I believe her name is, I thought, alright, okay, weird, but yeah, so I made a quote tweet referencing this tweet myself, and in it I said, "No ill will, I genuinely want to see a list of women that regularly post battle reports on YouTube, and since someone decided to throw white into replies," because of course that was one of the... I'm not going to go into the replies, I would rather steer away from that because it got a little... yeah, as well as misandric, there was, of course, a bit white-phobic, I suppose is probably the best way to put it. Yeah, so anyway, and since someone decided to throw white into the replies, screw it, show me a list of people of colour creators doing the same as well. I don't tend to be biased in my own searches. No responses for quite a while, so I did the typical John Travolta meme there. By the way, I will be linking to a lot of this stuff in the description to cater to those who may not be able to hear me. I'm trying to be a bit inclusive themselves. Yeah, but anyway, so eventually I got one little response linking me to one particular set of creators. And yeah, I can't. Sorry, I'm just trying to actually look at it here. Anyway, there was only one other creator or a group of creators which I was linked to, which they do about reports, and there's I believe an Asian gentleman or two amongst that particular group of creators. Right now, like I say, I get it. There isn't a lot of representation in the hobby, but to also imply that it's there when it's not is a little disingenuous. Like, I haven't seen, like I say, a lot of female creators who do battle reports. I see a great many who do like hobby content, painting tutorials and the like, but again, little in the way of battle reports. I've seen some minor creators who might play battle reports and have their significant other along with, but again, not prominent enough to, and certainly not part of the SN Battle Reports event, which is upcoming. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if this was a response to the whole diversity in the hobby thing, but on the 22nd of October, we had that rather interesting Warhammer community article, which was titled, "This Father and Son's Bastian Carfalis hobby project is pure Warhammer joy," where they were basically showcasing a painting of the aforementioned special character for Age of Sigmar, the Stormcast Eternals guy, by a father and his mixed race son. And that was Toy Soldier Fun. You can follow them on Twitter at Toy Soldier Fun. I'll again link this in the description. And I hadn't actually looked at the article myself originally. I just sort of like it just sort of just flew by, you know, it flew under my radar. And whenever I was actually on Twitter the other day, I noticed that the gentleman Toy Soldier Fun Harry had basically tweeted about, of course, his project with his son, and I basically just sort of made a little tweet saying about, like, it's nice to see that they've made a black features character who doesn't look like Samuel L. Jackson, because the majority of the ones, as few as they are, actually just look like Samuel L. Jackson to me. Sorry, but this one doesn't. So, oh, nice. Yeah, and then, like, the other day, the Toy Soldier Fun Harry just sort of like mentioned myself and a few other people of colour who are into the hobby in a tweet, which was basically saying you should follow these guys. And then suddenly my Twitter followers just exploded, like, nearly overnight. And again, I thank you, Harry, for that shout out. It was really nice. And I will be honest, I kind of wanted to keep my Twitter life and my YouTube life separate, even though I very often link my YouTube videos on Twitter. No one pays them a lick of attention, right? I mean, I don't blame them, because the majority of the people that follow me on Twitter aren't into the hobby, except now the majority certainly are. That was very, very interesting, and again, I thank you very much for that. Now, the reason why I think that this is actually kind of important is, I suppose, well, okay, I don't generally do identity politics, as some would call it. I do my videos, I'm into the hobby, I might paint the one or two black miniature when I actually do paint something, and that's as far as it goes. I don't, like, again, center my whole being around being a person of colour. all right? But I do get that there might be a bit of a lack of representation, at least visible representation in the hobby. Um, but again, I don't make that the entirety of my being, and I don't I don't try to make out that people are being, uh, for lack of a better term, gate kept from the hobby. I think that, well, depending on region, everyone is welcome into the hobby, and how you comport yourself is going to basically impact whether or not you are kept out of certain spaces. You know, if you're an asshole, people aren't going to like you, basically. So yeah. The other point which I wanted to make. Now, this particular Warhammer community article, I feel, was very good in terms of being inclusive with Games Workshop themselves. Because as we may remember, last year there was a particular post going around social media which was headed, "Warhammer is for everyone." I believe the execution wasn't the best, especially whenever you consider that it was on the tail end of the whole George Floyd stuff and the Black Lives Matter movement, etc., etc., and to basically do the typical, let's just call it virtue signaling. Again, I hate to use these buzzwords, but you know, if you're doing that, where at the same time your company is made up of a bunch of very visible white dudes and hardly any actual representation in your company, it's kind of like, yeah. So, but yeah. Now, bear with me for a second. Now, basically, I made this video again just to highlight the whole representation thing and how I sort of feel about it. And like I say, I'm normally just pretty self-centered in my thoughts about it. Like, you know, I just get on with my life and get into the hobby. And if people play with me, they play with me. If they don't, fair dues. But again, I do notice that there's a lot of people who think that diversity is lacking. In some cases, I feel that their complaints of lack of diversity aren't as accurate as they may think. In other cases, fairly accurate. And I once more believe that this particular article, the one with the showcasing the father and son hobby project, may have been in response to the SN Battle Report suite, because you know, at the end of the day, Warhammer communities on Twitter, and a lot of people who are in the company are definitely on Twitter. So maybe that just caught their attention. They're like, "Ooh, we better sort of look like we're inclusive, or else they're just gonna keep whining at us." So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Now, again, I'm going to be linking as much of the relevant material as I can in the description here. But I just thought I'd highlight this. And I'd also like to say, if there are any creators out there that you do know of who are either ladies, people of colour, or any other sort of minority group or what have you, right? Then shout these guys out in my replies or what have you, because I would like to know more about them. I'd like to shout them out myself, help promote them, help them get out there, right? Because again, if you're talking about representation, that's fine and all, but show me where it is, and then we can help them get out there, and then hopefully they can become as prominent as all the other straight white males out there who are making content. Yeah. I don't know how many subscribers I'm going to lose from this video. I know that politics is a very, very touchy subject. I know that you have to be very, very careful about what you say. But, I mean, I just implore you, like, forgive me if I've said anything which might have rubbed anyone up the wrong way. I'm an old man. Maybe I don't know how to manage my language in that regard, as well as some. And all I want to do is just keep. I just want everyone to be happy, you know. I want people to come into this hobby without feeling like the real world has to impact on a game about toy soldiers and all that sort of stuff. So again, I thank you all for watching. Anyone who actually wants to subscribe to my channel after this video, please do so. Those who want to like, again, please do so. Those who want to dislike, I don't blame you. But again, please forgive me. And I will see you all in the next video, which is actually going to be made not long after this one. It's actually going to be going back to some Kill Team content, because that's a little bit more of a jolly subject, yeah. So, yeah, thanks again, and see you all soon.